of the galaxy rests on the outcome of a race. The outcome of the race rests in your hands. Star Wars Episode 1, Racer, out now. Must have Nintendo 64's limited edition pack.
Welcome to Remember 64, where this week, oh yes, we are pod racing, or this is pod racing, depending on how you want to intro things. That's how I'm going with it this week. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show if you're a returning listener, and welcome if you are here for the first time. Here on Remember 64, we play and discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between on the Nintendo 64's library. My name, of course, is David Petrangelo, and check out the size of these engines, ladies. Bang! Oh, shit. Ignore the smoke. I'll just get a couple of my droid buddies to fix it. Ladies? Anyone? Ladies, are you there? Hello? Damn it. Well, Jiggy's here. Hey, Jiggy, look back. What's going on, man?
Not too much. I just wanted to correct you. You said we were pod racing, but we are just racing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's
yeah.
no pod to be had.
The only pod going on is in our
this
seats
pod
right
here. I guess there is a pod going on. Oh, man. All right. We're podding and we're racing.
There you
Two
go.
separate things about one thing. Let's go.
Let's marry them together and create a beautiful partnership with the three of us. Here. Let's do this, everyone. Right, everyone? One,
Yes.
2, 3, this. Oh, man, we are the coolest. Of course, we have a guest with us. I mean, I'm the coolest. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty cool.
I feel
we have we have a guest with us this time, Mike from the Switch to the Past podcast. That's a mouthful. Easy for me to say this evening. Back on the show of Remember 64, I was also on your show a little while ago. Not only is Mike a fellow Canadian from just down the street from me, but also one of the lovers of Yoshi's Island, as we have discussed in the past as well. Mike, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Dave. Thanks for having me on. And whoa, what's this?
Whoa.
Oh,
in all its glory.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, Qui-Gon's there. You know, he's racing. He's the racer.
He's the racer, apparently.
Yeah. Anakin's the pod. He's the racer. Yeah, I had to make sure I showed this off today because my $100 went really far on this one, obviously.
Obviously.
Pieces. But yeah, pride and joy right here. Show me I'm a true fan.
That's awesome. So if anyone's just listening, on the video feed, Mike just showed us a story. I guess you call those dioramas.
Yeah, it's a Lego Star Wars diorama with a little quote in the middle thing.
What's the quote say?
Remember, concentrate on the moment. Feel, don't think. Use your instincts. Said by Qui-Gon Jinn, of course, to Anakin.
Which is why he's there.
10-year-old boy and has no idea what's going on. So
I'm sure that quote really cleared everything up for a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
That's a really cool set. I think that one's one of the new-ish ones, I think.
Yeah, it came out a year or two ago. It was that, and there was a couple others. I also have the Dagobah diorama behind me here, as well as my AT-AT and some other Star Wars memorabilia.
There you go. Your Empire poster behind you and everything. Look at that.
Strikes Back poster. Wow. I didn't even have to put any of this up. This is just my everyday.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I got my Obi-Wan shirt on.
Hey, look at that stance. Nice. Mike's
I'm ready.
Right guy for the job. If anyone hasn't heard about the show, I was on it a couple months ago at this point when you guys sort of first, I guess, relaunched in a way. Let's talk a little bit about the show before we jump into things.
Yeah, so switch to the past. We have gone through a couple names. We take breaks. We come back. We started off as the GameCube was cool, which Dave did appear on from some episodes on that one as well. We had a great time with him on some of those, and we covered all 555 North American releases on the GameCube. Took us 2.5 years to do it, but we did it. Then we took a break because we were exhausted from it. Did a little thing called Unlocking What Was Cool, where we just talked about all kinds of random games and pop culture stuff. Took a break from that, and now are back again for Switch to the Past, where we talk once again about all things Nintendo, lots of nostalgia stuff going on there. We were, of course, lucky enough to talk about the GameCube Virtual Console games, which just came out recently for the Switch 2. Had to do that. Had so many messages, of course, when the Virtual Console or GameCube Online service got launched. That was a big day for us, and I've been playing Strikers quite a bit since that was.
Yeah, I know you guys have always touted that game as being awesome. It's still one of the few Mario sports games I have never played, but it looks great. It looks so much fun.
Why? So I played the original GameCube one. I played the Wii one. I remember enjoying the Wii one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got the one on the Switch. Wasn't a huge fan.
Nope, same.
The game
Really
on NSO, and I'm like, I do love this. I'm like, what's different about it? I don't understand what like fundamentally on paper they're the same,
right?
And it's Next Level Games, same developer actually, who did the Switch one as well. Funny enough, yeah, and they just a miss on the Switch. I think my personal opinion, a bit too much meddling from Nintendo. On that one, I feel like they wanted them to make a specific kind of game. Those Mario sports games like Aces and the golf one, they're all kind of the same-ish. And I think
the golf one too is one that, like, same thing where everyone's kind of liked pretty much all of them. Then the Switch one was very middle ground as far as reception went and stuff. Yeah,
very mid. But Strikers on NSO, yeah. Oh my god, just so much awesome. Fun. It's such a great game.
I was really like dissecting it because I was playing it, and I'm like, because I remember playing the Switch one and being like, wow, I remember really liking this. Maybe I just grew up. Maybe this is like, this was an old thing. And then going back to it, I was like playing it. I'm like, no, this is great. Why? What happened?
I'm not crazy.
It's not me. It's them.
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, that works. That happens though, and it's true. And like same thing, I just look up the Mario Golf game for Switch, same developer. I mean, yes, it's 25 years later, but things change. But yeah, it could be a little bit too many cooks in the kitchen type of thing from Nintendo. That stuff happens. If I ever get myself a Switch 2, that's, I want to get the online subscription when that happens, just so I can play these GameCube games that or whatever is on it at the time, because most of them I haven't played. That's like, when I was listening to you guys do your podcast, going through all the games, most of the stuff you talked about, the vast majority, that was the first I was hearing of them, is when I was listening to you guys talk about them. And it was a fun journey to go on. And it's like, I got to get my hands on this thing. Maybe I'll get a console itself, but then you got to buy the games. And I'm just like, it's a huge investment, right?
I have to check out your podcast on it, because I am a big GameCube fan.
Yeah, you are.
It's all GameCube games.
Yeah, I see it. It looks amazing.
Than it looks bad.
I see it. I love it. That's great.
I got mine downstairs, always ready to go. Have my silver GameCube in the corner over there, bought in box from Japan. Ooh. That was a fun. So I do have Japanese games that I can actually play on my Japanese GameCube, which is
nice. Cool. Damn. Is that library the same size as far as we know? Sometimes it's larger, I think, right? Or
it is larger.
It is for GameCube too. Nice.
Yeah, there's a bunch of random GameCube games in Japan that never made it here. Some obviously in PAL as well, like Dash and the Giant. That's so I really hope that with the online service, we're going to get some of these PAL and Japanese only ones, because we've had that for GBA. And so I'm thinking,
that's great.
Let's do it for GameCube too. I want to play these weird ass games,
especially the PAL ones, because it's just going to be in English anyway, and they're releasing most, not all the subscriptions are obviously coming from North America or English speakers, but the PAL games that didn't work or weren't released or something like that, like, this is the best way to experience them at this point, or at least potentially the easiest, I think.
And listen, I know this is an N64 podcast, but what's your favorite GameCube game?
Oh my god, that's like asking my favorite child. Oh, that's
We all have it.
we do all have it. I mean, so it's not a GameCube exclusive game, but my favorite game to play on the GameCube is 007 Nightfire because
Okay.
that's what me and my co-host Neil grew up playing every day together, constantly, all the time. But favorite exclusive, honestly, it could be Strikers. Someday it could be Strikers. Power Tennis also is one of my favorites. Wind Waker, though, would probably be my actual answer to answer you honestly. I think Wind Waker is an almost perfect game, and I could play that on the GameCube easily every day for the rest of my life. And now that it's on the online service, I can play it again. It just sucks I don't have fast sailing because the Wii U made me it spoiled me on that one. So playing it, I was like, oh right, this takes a while.
I also love Wind Waker. That's a good call.
Nice.
Thank you.
Do you have one, Jiggy? I feel like we've probably talked about it. I don't because I don't have enough experience with it. So that's.
Do I have one? What?
Your favorite game on the console?
Oh. I was like GameCube. I was like, I got an extra one right there. I was like,
I'll take it if you don't want it.
I had like 3 at some point just because my dad, like, every time he would try to get controllers for us because my brother he would just destroy my controllers. Right. So he's always like, I know your little brother breaks your controllers. So anytime he went to like a yard sale, he'd find a controller. Well, this was like an era where every time he went to a yard sale and they were selling the controller, they were selling it with the console and like a bunch of games. And so he'd just buy it every time. So we had like 3 GameCubes at one point, and
it was probably a reasonable price, so it wasn't crazy.
Yeah, it was always like $20-$30. He's like, I just bought the whole box.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, not gonna lie.
Damn.
Favorite GameCube games. Honestly, I think the first Luigi's Mansion is fantastic.
Yeah, so good. Yeah.
I'm weird. I like Star Fox Adventures. Sure. Just because I love war. Although I will say the combat was dated the last time I played it. I was like, it lives on in my memory as this amazing game. Probably the most played game I have, though, is probably between Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah.
Like those 2 games, I went back and forth a lot. Like
yeah, and you're a big Sonic guy too, right? So nice. Oh, yeah. Maybe eventually one day I'll have my favorite, but I don't know. My default will be I don't know. Yeah, most of the games you guys just mentioned I've never played. So there you go.
The cool thing about the GameCube is it's got all these like really quirky, like cartoony games. Like he started mentioning all the like sport games, Mario sports games. That was the era where those like really like they may have started on N64, but I feel like they really flourished on GameCube.
Sure.
And then like even the solo adventures like Mario Sunshine, like it's the weirdest Mario we have. It's awesome.
So weird. I have played it, but not that much. I feel like if I sat down and played it, I'd really like it because it's so strange.
Yeah.
And same thing with.
By the way, you came on for the Tom Clancy episode where we talked about Splinter Cell. I was trying to remember which one.
That's right. Oh my god. Oh.
And fun fact, Splinter Cell, those shadows and everything that they were able to do in Chaos, was it Chaos Theory?
Chaos Theory?
Is that,
I think so.
That came from Luigi's Mansion because Luigi's Mansion they specifically for the GameCube created the shadow engine that allows you to allowed Luigi's Mansion to basically be playable as it is. And so Chaos Theory for Splinter Cell, they were able to actually take those same shadow engine and use it specifically in the GameCube version, which is why the GameCube versions of Tom Clancy games are always rated higher.
That is super cool.
Nice. And from like a different developer and stuff too, which is kind of interesting, right? So they're able to use that technology. That's crazy. From I think Ubisoft. Was it? No, yeah, is Ubisoft that has Splinter Cell? I think so, right?
I think it was Ubisoft and Red Storm was the developer for it.
For that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe one day I will play more GameCube. Maybe one day I will play more GameCube. Okay, so I don't even think we even mentioned it yet, did we? What game we're playing or have played?
Well, we sort of.
Now we're doing Strikers. Wait,
yeah. So how about that Wind Waker? I mean, this is the game that everyone just calls Podracer or Star Wars Pod Racing or something. You know, I honestly still forgot that it wasn't called Episode 1 Podracer. Like I thought that that's what the full name was, but of course, due to legal reasons, they could not use pod in the title for this game. I think it was from a Nintendo perspective, maybe it was from LucasArts, but Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. That's where we're sitting. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. I guess it makes sense. It's totally fine. It says Star Wars. You get the logo.
Literally everyone just calls it Podracer.
Yeah.
I don't like, or pod racing.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard it called One Racer until I like actually looked at it and I was like, wait, this isn't actually called pod racing.
What's the thing? The Bernstein Bears effect or whatever it's called?
The
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
This might be a thing.
It's totally what it is. I think that 100%, because I even like look at the box when I was, it
looks wrong.
It just, it does look wrong. And I just look at it and just think, oh, it says Star Wars Podracer. Like the episode 1 doesn't even exist in my mind when I even read the fucking box.
Dyslexia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that. Damn it, I'm tired. So this is a game that I think we all have a little bit of experience with, at least up until this point. So just to get us started, Jiggy, let's start with you, man. What's your history with? We've talked about Star Wars stuff on and on, and or off and on here and there, but are you connected at all to the prequels in any way? And would that have affected your time with this previously? And did you play this game leading up to this?
It's an excellent question. My experience with Star Wars in general, ironically, one of the like few celebrities I've met was Mark Hamill. When I was like 8 years old, my dad was a huge Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
Like literally, I have the Rogue Squadrons on GameCube because my dad just really liked Star Wars.
Nice.
And I didn't understand because I didn't really watch Star Wars. When episode 1 came out, was that 99 or 2000? 99. Yeah. So I was really young. I was like
just around the time this game came out. This was basically the tie-in game.
Yeah.
It was a launch game.
I had this game.
Yeah.
I had this game. Why I had this game? I did not ask for it. So I'm assuming it's one that my dad was like, oh, this would be great. But I did play it. I remember going through I remember sucking at it too, by the way.
Oh, sure.
I remember being terrible at it.
Yeah.
But I remember like laughing, going through the menu, and the guy's like, oh
my God, it is the best. It is the best. These guys, they come into my shop. Honestly, sounds like my dad's dad talking. Like he sounds like a 94-year-old Italian. That's what he sounds like. Hey, you come into my shop, you no buy. Why you no buy?
Yep.
Credits are no good out here.
You come in, you wreck my stuff. Why you do this? Okay. Have some pizza, come on. Stay out of the garden. What are you doing? You're going to ruin my tomato. 100% what I thought of the whole time. Anyways.
Valid.
Did you suck this time, Jiggy?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. High-speed maneuvers.
Yeah, me
into
too.
The wall.
Smash, just straight into the wall, or the tiny little quarter that's sticking out on one of the turns. That happened to me a few times too. What are you gonna do, Mike? What about you, man? I know you've played this because I think we've talked about this on and on at some point. I feel like, or way back when you came on for the NWO episode a couple years ago. This was like, oh, when you do, I think we probably said when you do Podracer, cue me up, and I've always had that in the back of my mind, so I'm happy that we made it work. But let's talk about your sort of experience with the game too.
Yeah, so I mean, I have always loved Star Wars since I was a little kid. I had an uncle who didn't have any kids at the time because he's quite a bit younger than my mom. So I was definitely his favorite child that he didn't have, and he'd take me around a lot. And he was kind of like the cool uncle. And he had a whole basement full of Star Wars stuff. It was all Star Wars. I remember playing Star Wars Monopoly with him and Star Wars Risk and all these kind of things. Yeah, they were great, honestly. And he got me into Star Wars, and I saw episode 1 in theaters. It was probably the first movie I ever saw in theaters with him, my dad, and a couple other friends. And that was a pretty magical experience.
Sure.
I remember that really well. I think it was 6 or 7. And fell in love with Star Wars ever since. I have the poster up here. I got all the Lego. I love Star Wars. And the prequels for me, I didn't like Attack of the Clones when it came out, but I saw Revenge of the Sith with my co-host Neil in 2005, and we saw it again this year to mark 20 years since we saw it together. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I did play pod racing. Famously, as I've talked on your podcast and on my podcast, I did not own an N64 growing up. My parents would not buy an N64 for me. I had to beg them to get a Double Dash and GameCube in Christmas of 2003. That was a big day for me. But so I never had an N64, but I had lots of friends who did, of course, and I had a neighbor who did. And I played a lot of pod racing Racer on his console. But where I actually played pod racing the most, funny enough, and this is a funny story, true, is at the orthodontist. When I was 10, yeah, I know, right? Did not expect that one.
Yes, I thought you were going to say the arcade, because I know there was an arcade one eventually that I think was out and about, at least in our area, because we're sort of from the same area. I definitely ran into a couple of those arcade machines. Anyways, orthodontist.
Palladium. I think there was at Palladium.
It was at Palladium. I had them at one of the movie theaters too. They had one. Yeah.
So at the orthodontist, I was about 10 or 11 years old at this point. And so this is like, the N64 had been not out for a while now. Like it was like firmly in the GameCube era, moving on to Wii. And I was getting my braces on, and I would have to go, I think, every week or so. Or I had to go a lot at first. I remember that.
First, you go quite a bit, yeah.
You go quite a bit. I don't remember all the stuff that was happening, but I went quite a bit to these guys who definitely were very Watto-esque as well. Hey, what are you doing?
How's your teeth feel? Are you taking the skin off your apple? Or whatever the shit that got stuck in your teeth. I can't remember what the restrictions were.
All the stuff in your braces.
Yeah.
So at the orthodontist, there was a waiting room. I remember it very clearly. There was a waiting room, and then there was like the area where they actually did all the work and stuff. And there was this like circular area that you would go into, and it was where all the kids would go. And they had 5 little CRT TVs set up.
5? Wow.
5. Yeah. They were ready for kids.
No kidding.
And they had N64s at each one of them, which I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Like, I like the N64 still. So, I mean, I'm going to play these games. Let's see what's on there.
Yeah.
And I forget. I think there's 5 different games. They weren't all Pod Racer, but I think the one that I would always play was Racer. And so I constantly, every week, would make sure my mom brought me early. I'd be like, oh, Mom, we should probably go early, get in there. My mom's like, it's not like, it was just like down the street from us. It was like those buildings across from Square One.
And we lived
that area, not too far away. And I was, I'm like, she's like, we're not going to be late, but whatever. So we'd go.
We could walk there. Like, what?
We'd go at least 15 minutes early, and they were always late anyway. So I had at least a half hour to play pod racing every single time.
You get a good amount of races done in half an hour. That's pretty good.
I got pretty good at that point, and there would be kids there playing like. So what we would do is we'd unhook the N64 controllers because for whatever reason each one only had one controller, right? So you would unhook the controller from the other one, plug it in this one, and we'd play together.
Nice.
Usually me and just some random kid, and I just schooled them because I got so good at it.
I got here 15 minutes early, kid.
Oh yeah, because I pick Anakin. I'm just waiting for them. I was like, yeah, who are you gonna pick? Sebulba? Because I unlocked them already. So correct.
Sucker.
Yeah, that's where I got good at the game. Where at my friend's house was just kind of us just like playing around and just crashing, right? As you do when you're a kid. Yeah. So that's the story.
That's sick. That's great. You guys got stories. Once again, my stories are pretty boring. Did I play it at a doctor's office? No. Did I play it at home? Occasionally, because I rented it, but it was mostly at a friend's house. And honestly, you know what's strange about this game in particular was even though it was obviously is multiplayer or can be multiplayer, we often played single player. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's because we just wanted to unlock stuff or we just wanted to sort of progress and get different parts for our machine or racers or whatever, something like that. But like, I don't know. Now I feel like if I played multiplayer, I would like get dizzy because there's just too much going on the screen. But maybe I just didn't know that at the time. Maybe that's what was bugging us. but we often played and we would just switch every race. It wasn't like one of those, oh, if you die, you have to pass it on. It was like every race was something different. And eventually, you know, you could sort of both get a handle of more difficult races as you go along. So it's not like one person is saddled with the difficult ones and the other person's got the easy ones going. But yeah, that's a lot of it. One of my buddies owned it. I rented it a decent amount because for me, I'm a little bit older than you guys, but Star Wars was introduced to me just a few years prior. Well, not introduced, but like I watched them just a few years prior to when episode 1 came out. I watched them. I believe the special editions came out the year before episode 1 came out, or 2 years before.
98 is that VHS box set that had
which I still own. I still have it. I doubt they even work anymore. I'm sure they're like withered away or something, but I still have those VHSs. But I watched the original movies. I borrowed them from a friend of mine's older brother probably a year or two before that, and then I always borrowed them. Watched them a bunch of times and stuff. I vividly remember the first time I watched episode 4, which was not called A New Hope at the time, just episode 4, when Luke comes in and says, "What is this hunk of junk?" or "What is this piece of junk?" referring to the Falcon. And I yelled to my brother who was in the basement playing probably N64 or Super Nintendo at the time, going, "Oh my God, Luke just called it a piece of junk." I knew who Luke was. I knew what the Falcon was, but I never watched the movies. And this was like the first, maybe second time I watched the movie. So I've always been attached to Star Wars. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite franchises ever. The prequels are hit and miss for me, but I generally, Star Wars is great. I love it. So when this came along, I was like, a racing Star Wars game? And it also ties into this new cool looking movie. Shit, yeah, I want to play this. So for some reason, you know, growing up, I acquired lots of Star Wars games. The Jedi Knight games were big for me on PC. I definitely love all the new stuff that they've done. I think in the last 5 or 6 years, Star Wars games have just been incredible. But yeah, this is, for some reason, this console was in our house all the time. We had 4 controllers. We played a bunch of games. Just wasn't one of the ones that we owned. But I played it quite a bit, and I remember really those first 2, maybe 1.5 sets of races in it. Because when I picked this back up again a couple weeks ago, I was, for the first time in years, I was like, oh yeah, no, I remember this one. I remember what it looks like. I remember the announcer. I remember especially the first race. I mean, you do that so many times, especially if it's like a rental. And it was just like, yeah, this feels good. I'm not good at it, but it feels good. I'm going to, I haven't pulled up the video yet. There we go, everyone. Look at that video. Yay. Ooh. And I want to see if it's not too loud and obnoxious, what it sounds like too. Because it also is a game with Star Wars sound, which Star Wars sound and music. Look at that cinematography. That's it. Is that the intro? Is that it? That's the intro.
Yeah,
so hype.
You know how long, like, this is a key memory right here, because I would just like turn this game on.
Yeah.
And like, the amount of times that I would turn this game on, just have it sitting there blasting this music through the TV, and I'm just like doing something else.
Yep.
Yep. Like, not always intentionally. It just did. I don't know.
You didn't know it as a kid, but you're a John Williams fan, man. You just didn't know it. I constantly have some John Williams music going on in this house. Like this, like just sort of like a collection of his music, just a bunch of different movies and stuff like that. But yeah, the sound in this is pretty cool. I have this it's so funny because like you could go and put this music, this song in the Jedi Survivor game, for example, and you can go and play it in that, and it would be, a newer, cleaner version of it or whatever. And for some reason, it wouldn't feel the same. Like there's something about the sort of low fidelity of not just this particular game, but games of this era from Star Wars. The Jedi Knight ones are a perfect example and stuff, that when I hear that quality of a Star Wars song or the sound effects, I just go, it takes me back more than a lot of other games do. Even more than for some reason, even more than playing some of the Rare games do. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's just Star Wars. Maybe that's what it is. There's something about it, but it hits differently, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay.
Pretty iconic.
Oh, I totally forgot that you could do this and walk around and check your thing. Okay, so this is just a racing game, right? Like this is just go, do your laps and whatever, but there's a little bit more depth to it. So before we get into some of the details of that, do you guys have a favorite racer? Who is the go-to? And was it always the same, or did you guys cycle through it? Mike, what about you?
I mean, I was basic. It was always Anakin. I had to be Anakin.
Okay.
When you're young like that, you're just like always trying to fight for Anakin. And I feel like if I wasn't Anakin, and if Sebulba was unlocked, I would try and be him, because obviously he's probably the biggest next character in terms of the movie. But I think Gazgano, is he the one? I think I would be him sometimes. I don't really remember. But yeah, it was mostly Anakin, Sebulba unlocked, and then other guys. If I
is it all based on the look of it, or just because it's part of the movie?
Well, I mean, look at it.
It's the look of it, right? Yeah, like the look. I mean, his craft looks pretty sweet. Sebulba's is pretty iconic and intense. I feel like it's pretty great. I'm gonna find. I got the list of it here.
I didn't know any of the names of the characters aside from Anakin growing up.
Hey, there you go. There's the ships.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a little small. I tried to zoom it in, but it keeps doing that for some reason.
Yeah, Gazgano's was like the smaller one. I remember having like that was what I would pick when I was forced to pick, basically. But yeah, look at Sebulba's. How do you not pick that? That thing is a monster. It's so much fun.
It's got a huge like X shape to it, essentially. It's like so
cool. It took a lot to unlock his, if I remember correctly. I think
I think so.
Because to unlock things in this game, there was different ways, but I remember that a lot of it was like credits based, right? So you would have to go through certain tournaments and championships, and you would like win money based on how you finish, and then you kind of like accumulate these credits, and you'd eventually be able to unlock Sebulba that way.
Yeah, I think that's what his was. But you have a good amount available to you from the start, which is great. They all have slightly different stats and everything. I think is it like 8 roughly?
Anybody actually look at the stats?
I did this time. I don't remember if I did as a kid. I probably did, but you didn't, Jiggy. So what did you have a go-to? Or did you just like go for the look?
I was trying to say I didn't go by any of the names.
Yeah.
So I just picked who I dubbed Platypus Face.
Oh, is that the guy with like the really like flat?
He has like a big beak looking thing.
Oh, beak.
Like a snoot. Yeah, it's really big.
I gotta find that then.
I'll try and figure out who it is. A cool ship though. I mean, to be honest, like all the pods are pretty sweet. I don't think
they're all unique designs, right? That's the thing with the prequels too, is there's a lot of unique styles to a lot of the stuff that was in them, like in the movies and all that. And then this was just the same, right? Like we got such a small glimpse of what pod racing is in the first movie.
Never got it again.
There it is. There's
Sebulba's. Look at that X.
Yeah,
it's so cool. Yeah, and then it sounds sick. That's great. That's the big thing, is that it sounds cool. And then he has a unique thing too that I totally forgot about when I was looking up the different racers and everything, is that like he has like an afterburner thing or something. Like if you double tap the repair button, it sort of like overheated his engine or something and gave him like a boost, and he's like the only one that has that. I never used that. I didn't unlock them this time. I just read it. Maybe it's a lie, but there's a repair button, and that was a way to like manipulate it. This time around, I just kind of bounced around different ones. I did actually play as the Gazgano guy, because that was based on the stats. I was like, oh, he's got a decent acceleration. I feel like I'm going to suck at this game. I'm going to pick someone that will help me get back up to speed. And he didn't have very good handling, so I was kind of whipping around a lot, and That wasn't great, but I flipped between that. I played a little bit of Anakin, the Neva Key one as well, which I realized when I look up like this chart here that I have pulled up is the only one that doesn't have the cockpit separated from like the engines, which is kind of crazy. I didn't even realize that was like, I thought they were all like that. It's like built like an actual spaceship instead.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing. I also asked a few people, I asked on social media if anybody had any go-tos. So I wrote a couple down. I want to make sure that I mention them because Neva Key was by far the most popular answer as far as people respond. Yeah, so people respond on Blue Sky, Threads, and YouTube, and that name came up more than any others. Anakin came up once, but this is just people that responded, so it could be,
maybe he has the highest speed or something.
Yeah, I'll look up some stats and stuff to see if what it is. Yeah. Let's see. One person that wrote about Cat Fox wrote that Neva Key was a choice because the design was unique, which is I get maybe what I just mentioned, how it doesn't look like the other ones. It's not separated. It is kind of cool looking. Like it is sort of, just like these two giant engines and you almost can't see the character in it. I don't know if that changes the handling at all, because I know that the handling can kind of be a little bit, wave around and stuff. It feels like that. Let's see. Thrak, who's been on the show, did our GBA chat a couple months ago, and a friend of mine, Chris Zeiser, both said Zabulba was their go-to. Gasgano was a couple picks, including Kelly Newell, who I've talked to every once in a while online as well. Daniel Greenberg says Elon Mack was their choice. So he said, so Elon Mack is
yes, the Elon Musk of Tatooine.
The Elon.
Right.
Oh God, no. Let's not do it. I will say that this one down here, this Aldar Bedo one, is a pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it is.
Looking pod racer.
Yeah, that one's sick. I think that's unlockable though. I remember.
Yeah.
That's not a starter.
Yeah, no. I think actually a few of these are not. But
Dud Bolt, by the way, that's the guy I'm talking about.
Which one?
Dud Bolt.
Dud Bolts.
Oh, Dud Bolt.
Yeah.
What a name.
What? I mean, that's actually cool too. How like the nose of it's kind of like
well,
aerodynamic.
I remember his ship, and I could be wrong, but I believe it had like a vertical flame out of it.
Yes, at
like
the back.
The rest are like big like flames that came out of like the thing, but his was like a beat, like a. I just liked it. I thought. It was
neat. That's true. It is vertical. Yeah. The other one, because usually the engines are just circular, right? And it kind of comes out as That's right. Yeah, actually, it might be the only one. The Audi Mandrill one just looks like a couple of BB-8s put together. That's what it looks like.
It does.
The orange and white.
Yeah.
I think at the time I was trying to figure out which one was my favorite at the time, but I really can't remember back in the day what it was. It was probably one of the starters because I would just get used to them. The Elon Mack one seems familiar, but I don't actually know what it was. So, what was I going to say? I had a good time replaying this. It took me a while to get a handle of how it feels, though. I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I feel like for me, I've been playing a lot of F-Zero recently.
We just did that as well.
Yeah, F-Zero GX coming to GameCube online, and plus I've also been playing Fast Fusion, which is part of the Fast Racing Neo franchise, which is a very similar kind of game to F-Zero and Wipeout. So my mind was kind of already in that world, and then when I was playing Racer again, I was like, oh yeah, I get it. Like I wasn't doing great by any means. Like I don't do great in F-Zero. I'm not that good at that at all, but my mind was at least in that world again.
Yeah. Though I think this is intentionally not the same tightness for how the vehicles feel.
Yeah.
Did you feel that difference, Jiggy? Because I mean, at this point, as of us sitting here, it was at least a few weeks ago that we played F-Zero X for this current stretch of racing games that we're talking about here. But I kind of felt that too, actually. Now that you mentioned F-Zero, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel like F-Zero X.
No. It's a lot more slippy slidey.
Yep.
Yeah. Not as tight for sure.
That's definitely the scientific term for it. Yeah.
Slippy slidey. But it's fun. It's fun because the nature of the pods being like most of them are the like cockpit like tethered to these like giant essentially rocket engines sitting there, and the rocket engines are like you're just trying to like steer them, so like it almost feels more like how they'd actually respond, like you're turning right and it's like they're kind of like it's like it's a pretty interesting feel. It's definitely different than F-Zero for sure.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for sure. Like if it felt exactly the same, you're right. I actually think like it's interesting because it is something that you almost have to try and emulate what that could feel like, which might have been pretty hard to do with the technology at this point. But like, I feel like having a separated piece from your ship have weight to it, and the front of it also have weight to it. That's gotta be hard to pull off, and I feel like they did, even if it doesn't always feel great. At least in my experience, it doesn't always feel awesome to drive it that sort of weightiness, but at least it feels what I think it should feel like. At least I don't know how different the stats matter. We talked about the stats before, but I did notice a couple of the characters that had really low, like I think they just call it steering, were just like sliding all over the place. I just like I would go like a little too fast in a corner, and then I'd be whoa, whoa, whoa. Like thank God there's walls, keeping me like going straight. But I was like, oh my God, I can't do this.
Just what you want to say when you have a racing game. Thank God there's walls.
I mean, at times, sometimes there isn't. Walls would also save me in F-Zero, coincidentally enough, every once in a while. I don't know if you guys, some of the tougher racers, when I got into some of the tougher tracks, they beat the shit out of me, man. Like,
I suck. It's terrible.
From the start, or just our tough races?
Well, I mean, from the start. Let's be real here.
Well,
you gotta go fast.
You gotta go fast, and there's like so much. You also have to like manage your engines too. Like that's a whole other part of this game.
Yeah,
making sure your engines don't overheat.
Yep. I like it though. I like that extra sort of real time management stuff. It might feel like, oh my God, it's a sim and a racer or something, but no, it is interesting because it's almost like trying to manage, your boost or something in a game.
Yeah.
And then you also have the damage as well, which you can repair on the go. Those types of things I actually really like because it adds depth. Otherwise, you kind of are just playing a racing game with Star Wars in it in a way. Maybe that's a little too easy to say it that way, but like they have those extra things, and I appreciate that. I like the way that's in there. I don't know if I really understood how to use the repair, because sometimes I press it and it didn't do anything. I don't know if I was missing something. I don't know, or maybe I wasn't damaged enough because I'm so good.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to. You can only do it at certain times, like when the engine was flashing. I think is when you're supposed to be able to do it.
Oh, I was like constantly pressing R, which is like repair. Just nick the wall and be like R. Save myself.
Thank God there's walls. Repair.
Yeah, maybe that's exactly why I was doing it. I like so Mike, you mentioned that, but also the tracks have a lot going on too. Like most of these areas that we see in this game, most of the planets and stuff don't even exist in any other, probably in some older novels or something, like maybe they're referenced or something, but like we've never seen most of these places before. And there's a lot going on in these stages. I don't know if I found every once in a while it to be a little bit too much. I don't know if you felt the same.
It can definitely be a lot, I feel, but I think again, it's kind of like F-Zero in that way, where like in F-Zero, it seems like there's like a lot of lore in these cities where you're like, where am I? What happened here? Yeah. And it takes you like a couple of races to be like, okay, I'm just going to play the game. I'll just race. But I think for a Star Wars fan, you're absolutely right. Like there's a lot going on. in these places you've never been. You're just thrown into this locale, into this planet. You're like, whoa, wait. Like, I want to know what the history of this is. Like, what's going on? Like, am I in the Outer Rim? Is this like Coruscant? Like, what is this?
I thought pod racing was only in one place. Like, like
that's what I thought. Yeah. Until I played this game. So I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. The one I recognized, or not recognized, but realized was kind of cool was that you're on, I don't remember the name of the stage, but you're where they do they're mining spice, which is really cool. And you're kind of flying through like a lava area and all these machines that are digging spice out of the ground and stuff. And spice is this big thing that, becomes more and more prevalent in, was it in Obi-Wan? Which one were they were always trying to get the spice? I think it was in Obi-Wan, right? Or Boba Fett, where it was like a big thing.
Boba Fett was
spice. Was in Boba Fett. That was like the sort of like a big, they sort of did the spice crime and things like that. Anyways, I was like, this is cool. You're going through a fucking volcano and there's machines digging stuff up. This is awesome. But you don't really get to see it because you're literally speeding past.
Oh yeah, you're going 600. I don't even know if that's miles per hour, kilometers per hour.
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be it's like their own kilometer. It's like their own measurement, I think, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And then
instead of English, it's basic stuff like that.
So.
Their own measurements.
Going no faster than 25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It turns out just super slow.
These races are actually really tiny. It's a school zone. Watch out for the speed camera.
That was one con maybe for me that I have about this game is that I don't love the HUD. There's quite a bit going on. Yeah. Like, I don't need to see my massive 370 miles per hour like right beside my car at all times. Like, that can be way less, I feel. I feel like I needed more room to see, especially when I'm going this fast.
Get rid of the mini map. Nobody is sitting there analyzing that mini map moving this fast. You're like the engines thing, sure. Like on the top corner, you could literally get rid of the time and just keep the lap in position like further up into the corner. I'm with you. I think sometimes things just get too busy with the big HUD and it's just distracting. Like I want to just play the game and I want to just look around at the environment and so much. I know there's some things you need to manage, but yeah, I'm totally with you.
Yeah, I think the mini map is, I thought at first, I was like, I don't know these stages, so this is good to have. But you're kind of, even if you've done this race a couple of times or you're on the third lap, you're like, okay, I remember this part, which is often when I remembered what I needed to do where. It took me a couple laps and I barely survived because there's walls.
Right.
Because there's walls, so it allowed me to keep going straight. Eventually, it didn't matter. I thought at first it would be helpful, but you're just reacting, I feel, because you're going so fast. Everything is a reaction here. And you only have, I think every race is 3 laps. I'm pretty sure. It's just a matter of how large each race or stage is.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the mini map, and correct me if I'm wrong, it could, like, maybe you can zoom out or something, but it doesn't help that the mini map only shows you what's like 30 feet in front of you or behind you. You're like, how is that helpful? True. I'm seeing it in real time as it's displayed on the mini map. So
yeah, it's like maybe a second in front of you. Like it's not helping anyone, like you said.
Yeah. You have to have better reaction time than to. You can't manage both. And you're right. The time, completely unnecessary. Like, I know they tell you that you got a new lap record the first time you do every single race, but it doesn't. Who cares? Just tell me at the end of the lap.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's totally fine. The position, fine.
Yeah, just give me an option to turn off the HUD almost completely too. Like that would be a great thing to have. Just especially like on the back or something, and like whoop, it's all gone. Yeah,
especially if you're doing the sort of, I guess you could call it first person perspective or cockpit perspective. You need most of the screen because you really feel the speed in this view, I find, which is why I didn't use it too often.
I can't play this way.
I can't play this way either.
Makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
That being said, if I had some sort of like controls for the N64 that were like throttles and stuff like that, like I would totally play it this way.
Like a big steel battalion setup, like that what that game had, like a giant
something with a throttle where I could go.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun. Oh my god.
Could you imagine in VR you play this like in VR, and then when you crash you do the spin like they often do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you'd be done. You'd be done. You need a bucket beside you.
No, they wouldn't do that in VR because they're not man enough to do it. They would pull you out and show you, like, you just be watching it like spin out. Like,
you know what?
That's what they do. They cut away.
You know what? You might be right, because recently, in my opinion, probably until Andor came along, Star Wars doesn't have any balls recently. So it's just like I could see them not just wussing out on that thing. What they would do would
be like, hey, listen, if I'm gonna play a VR game about pod racing, I want all the thrills of pod racing, including
everything.
Dying.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah,
I want it to blow up in my face.
Yep. I would be down with that. I think I would still get sick if whether I crashed or not.
Throwing up,
but
it ain't real pod racing.
It's true. If your life is not threatened, you are not pod racing.
Like, if you're not betting gambling for a slave boy, then this is not real pod racing. I think that's still my favorite meme like ever is, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's just like Jedi accountant say, all right, let's see, Qui-Gon is expensing, I'm sorry, one boy.
He said, it's a write-off. You just write it off. You don't even know what a write-off is.
Do you? No.
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
I saw that. I think this like years ago. Someone like tweeted it or something. And every time I think of it, I just can't stop laughing.
That's amazing. It's just expensing one boy. What?
Yeah.
I will say I haven't watched the most recent season, but I did enjoy the first two, I think it is. But the Bad Batch actually has an episode where they do sort of like I don't know if it's actually like the same sort of level of pod racing, but the crew, which are clones from the Clone Wars and stuff, they're sort of like experimental clones is kind of what their characters are. They actually participate in a pod race in an episode, which is kind of cool because like the first time you actually see it in quote unquote live action, so to speak, other than episode 1. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And I should look back. I wonder if any of those characters also exist in this game. Because they would be around just before this game would take place. Which is interesting. Or no, sorry, just after, I believe.
I think one of the biggest missed opportunities ever is in episode 8 where they're at like that casino planet.
Yes.
And they show like there's like a racetrack, basically looks like it's like for horses or something. I'm like, oh, is this it? Are we gonna see pod racing here? And they just I don't even remember what it was. It was some sort of stupid racing, but it wasn't pod racing.
It's some like horse adjacent creature they created. Yeah.
It's like, you cowards, how?
Yeah. So look, I love that movie. I think that's my favorite of those 3 movies, but they had to put in the animal rights type of message thing. That's why they did it. That's what it was for. At the end, they save them, and they're like, "Oh, thank you." And, you know, that's why they did it. But you're right. That could have been epic.
So
just you see it, even if oh my god, you see Sebulba. Imagine.
Well, I mean, god, he's like animatronic Sebulba now. He's like Darth Maul coming back. He's just like half.
Only half his body.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even have to reference it. You just show the orange thing with a little sound effect. Oh my god.
Sebulba Jr.
Oh my god. Oh, so Junior la I don't know. They'd come up with a better name than that. A little bit. Sebulba baby. Sebulba baby. Hey, Sebulba baby.
Yeah. Can we talk about why Watto is on the cover of the N64 one? Like he's like the shadow. He looks like a Sith Lord. Watto is in the background. I know he's like the narrator or like the guy in the menu, but
that's really? It, really.
That's the character you wanted to push on the consumers.
Because he's the only one that you remember from episode 1, obviously. Nothing else.
Let's not put Jake Lloyd in his goggles like this. No. Let's put Watto on there.
I like the concept of the cover. How it's just black. It's just the logo. Like that's cool, but yeah, I don't understand why Nono is on it. You know, like narrator Nono is on there. I don't it doesn't make any sense to me.
Because the PC version looks fine. The PC version is like, you know, what you expect pod racing to look like. It's going through the rocks. It's Anakin's racer there. Looks good.
I think if you look it up now, that's pretty much like the first image that pops up, because I think that's what they used for the re-release for Switch.
Yeah,
I think they use that too, and I think the PC, the PC one, like you said, like that makes sense. That totally makes sense to have that. So,
yeah, weird that they didn't use Watto 25 years later.
Well, at the time he was 90 years old, and he was an immigrant from Italy, and now he's not around anymore. That's what happened. That's why.
That's what happens.
Yeah, I think it's an odd choice. I agree. But we listened to a little bit of it before. We're sort of making fun of his voice and stuff and all that, because he's just sort of a goofy character. But I think the sound is pretty good in this. I found the sound to feel like that sort of authentic Star Wars. The only thing, actually, and Jiggy, you mentioned sort of just playing the menu music over. I wish there was more music during the races. I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't get that. I mean, maybe it's a limitation, but like, why is it only faintly playing when you're in the last lap? That's it. Like, it's just,
I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder if other versions you can like hear more music.
Yeah, maybe PC or something would have had that. Yeah, like if I play the sound for this, which is like mid race. I heard a lot of that, but in other languages. Oh no! That's also cool too. The characters kind of chirp each other when you bump into them,
and they have new dialogue too. Like they recorded new dialogue for this game.
Oh, I didn't know that. Ooh.
Yeah, it's with the actual actor. What's
Jake Lloyd.
Yep, Jake Lloyd.
Oh, he has different audio too. Oh shit, that's cool. Oh, I guess that makes sense, because he didn't really. It's only like what, 5 minutes of the movie, like.
Yeah, like, and really all he says is like, "Uh-oh," and now this is pod racing. Like that's
that would be something that you would get like in like an SNES version of this game or something, or Genesis, where like every time you passed someone, or every time you went in first place, it would just say, "Now this is pod racing," and it'd be like the only voice in the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like switching positions back and forth. This.
Yeah, it's very SNES. Yeah.
I didn't realize that they. I guess that does make sense. That's cool. I mean, this was the movie tie-in game at the time, and then there were other ones, but this was like the main seller, I think, and I guess that makes sense, because this was could arguably be the most exciting part of the movie, especially for kids. Right? Like, this is really cool to be able to see something we really haven't seen before. It's not a spaceship. It's not a Jedi. It's this. So that makes sense. One of the only gripes I had with this, or one of the couple of gripes I had with this, was, as interesting as some of these races and tracks were, some of them are way too long. And I was like, why is this race 8 minutes? This is way too much.
Yeah, that is a long time.
Like, why is each lap taking me over 2 minutes? And it's not because I'm crashing 6 times or whatever. It's just a really long. Like, I don't get it. This is one of them, I think. I don't know if this is quite 8 minutes, but like, this person's in the middle of the race, in the middle of like the second lap, and they're hitting 3 minutes. So this is what, a 6 minute rate? Like, I don't know. It doesn't sound long, but if it feels
long in a fast game like that,
yeah, and I think sometimes games like Mario Kart or F-Zero, those races sometimes feel too short. They'll be like a minute and a half or 2 minutes or something. F-Zero had a lot of that. F-Zero X, at least. That maybe is too short, but this had like the happy medium towards the beginning, and then the further you go, things just get longer and longer and longer. Like, can I just, if I'm doing well, just give me 2 laps. Like, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big if, but Did you guys? I don't know if you. I don't know any names, but do you guys have any like standout locations or remember ones that were like, yeah, this is the one I like the most?
The Hoth one. It's not Hoth, but it might as well be Hoth. The ice one.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of them, but like
slippy, slidey, and like you go off a ramp, and you're
Yeah.
you're like in the air. I do like when you go in the air and it's just totally out of control.
Yeah.
Sure.
There was one that was like big, like almost like glass tunnels, and I saw it on the gameplay here. I don't remember what it's called, but I did like that one. That one was pretty cool.
That might be the same one you guys are talking about because it is one of the snow ones.
Is
where
it in the ice one? I don't think it was the ice one.
Oh, it's a different one?
Different one. Yeah.
I think it's a different one. But they do kind of blend in because I will say they do a pretty good job of it, like not just being like the one I'm talking about isn't just ice and snow. Like there are other parts of it. They do a pretty good job of like mixing it, like this one right now, right? Like now he's in.
There you go.
Like so, but you're right, Dave. Like we're 5:34 in this. Like what the hell is going on, man?
Yeah, this is long, man. Like it's cool. It's cool to experience it, but then on your third lap, if you are in the earlier races, which are definitely easier to win, and as you go along, things do get more difficult. There's no reason for this race to be 6 to 7 minutes. Like it's just it's too much. Oh, here's another snow one later on, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one's kind of cool.
I know. Now I'm getting them mixed up. I'm like, wait, how many snow ones are there? This could be the one. Honestly.
Yeah, there's a couple different of each sort of biome, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
But that's one of the advantages to this game in general is like even if you are in snow, even if you are in a Tatooine like area and stuff, like it's never the exact same race. It always feels pretty similar or pretty different. Even if it does have the same, weather pattern, I guess you could call it. But there's a couple races where you go back to the same place, but the layout of the race is different. I realize.
Yes.
Like you kind of go off to the side because it's whatever sectioned off or something like that. But that's okay. I'm cool with that. Like kind of recognize part of the race, but not the second half, So actually I think this is one of them that does that. Like the tunnels and stuff. For me, it was that spice one, I think, because of what is going on around you. I thought that was really cool. And then you go through an area and you hear the lava bubbling and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty sweet. Because I think some of the best parts of this game are the environments and some of the sound work with that. I just wish they were coupled with more music because Star Wars is very much about music for me. So I just wish there was get John Williams.
A little bit of John Williams in there.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
John Williams never hurt. Come on.
It's odd to see it like because you don't think about it without music. At least for me, I wasn't thinking about it without music, and then watching this gameplay and you putting the music on, I'm like, oh yeah, like there is no music until the last lap. It's just kind of silence and
yeah.
And it's kind of industrial sounds. Like it sounds cool, but not really what you want to be hearing, especially for a 5-minute long course. I'd like to hear something else.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Oh yeah, this level I remember too. You're on like a beach.
Yeah.
There's like statues. Yeah, this one was. I remember this one. I will say as much as I think all three of us have said, yeah, well, I don't know, Mike, maybe you're pretty good at this, but me and Jiggy suck at this game. So,
yep.
Yep.
I
don't know if you guys
when I'm playing.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I was just who needs John Williams? We have this pod for Racer.
Yeah.
That's all we need. I tried, so I think it's when I completed the first set of races, which is a decent amount, like each sort of like Grand Prix, I guess you could call them, has 8 to 10 races or something. There's quite a bit, and each one's different from the last, so there's definitely some variety. You unlock another set, which are like invitationals, they call them. Those races, I was like 10th place every fucking time. I was so bad. And I think unless you know where all the shortcuts are, you lose. That's it immediately. Like in the middle of the first lap, you're done. That's it. You can't catch up. And I was like, shit, this game is not forgiving eventually.
This game is not for children. Yeah, the invitationals are what lost me. I could never do well at those, because you're right. That's a good point. Is that the CPUs know exactly where every shortcut is, and if you don't know where to go, which is extremely hard to find these things when you're going at like 500 miles per hour.
500 knots.
You just there's no way that you'll be able to do this unless you're just doing these courses over and over and over and over again, and then you finally figure out like the best way to get to the shortcut. Even then, you might not beat them. So,
well, even then, you might not even like react in time to get to it, right? Because
it's true.
You need to be going that speed to kind of, there was, I think it was like maybe even just the very first one where you're kind of going through like a city. I don't know if it's supposed, I don't know where it was specifically, but like, I'm not even done the first lap and it says I'm in 11th place and there is no one near me, not even close. Like I'm just like, and I'm like, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Oh, I found a shortcut. Oh, but I guess I missed the other 7 shortcuts before this. And then I kept going on the race and I never improved my position. And I tried to get it was just, that's it. And I don't think there's like rubber banding happening in this game or anything when you're like in first place. Like I think it's pretty level in that way. But if you fall behind on especially a race like that, just start over.
No. Yes.
It's not happening. I think
no
most of the difficulty. Here. What's that?
No red shells here to help you out.
No red shells, no spike shells, no banana peels, none of that stuff. Yeah.
Bullet bills.
Bullet bills. Yeah, there you go.
This is the bullet bill. Everyone's in bullet bill.
Your engine is literally a bullet bill. You have 2 bullet bills in front of you. Yeah. I think a lot of the difficulty comes from managing, like we've talked about, the controls and your speed and stuff, but the stages, the tracks are the difficulty. I think it's not even necessarily the other racers. It is, like you mentioned, Mike, with them knowing shortcuts and stuff, but I think the biggest difficulty spike for me was just when things got more complex and I just don't have the reaction time I used to.
Yeah.
So.
Or the patience.
That's true.
Or the patience or the time to race the same thing over and over again, 7 or 8 minutes. Like it's not going to happen. What was I going to say? Oh, this is one note I had to write down, Jiggy, because you had to hear this for sure. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer was nominated for the Blockbuster Entertainment Award for favorite Nintendo 64 game. But what game won instead? Any idea at this time? For this is, I think they probably awarded this in late 99 or early 2000 would be my guess, but any idea what would have won instead? Same time frame.
Gosh, in 99?
I think, I'm going to see if it actually is specifically 99, this one. Let's see. The 6th Blockbuster Entertainment Awards in May of 2000, which I think a lot of games were from 99.
Okay.
Is it a Nintendo game?
It's also a 64 game.
Or I should say Nintendo published game, sorry.
Yep. It's like a Nintendo published game. Yep.
Okay.
DK.
It was Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
There you go.
think of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, they apparently this was a thing, the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. I didn't know that was a thing. Like for movies and stuff too. Like
when Blockbuster ruled the world.
Yeah. Adam Sandler wins for Big Daddy for comedy actor, followed by Tim Allen in Galaxy Quest.
Oh, classic.
What a year.
Unreal.
Never give up. Never surrender. I quit.
Let's see if I'm going to look up the other video game ones. Favorite video game, like straight up best game, Super Smash Brothers.
Oh,
in 99?
And awarded in 2000. They gave it to it in that. Yeah. So that actually,
Smash was in 99, I think. Yeah.
Was it? Oh, yeah. It wasn't. I was thinking 98, but yeah, it was 99. Yeah. And then favorite 64 game, Donkey Kong. Snap was in there. Mario Party and Sarge's Heroes. Apparently, got to get to those.
Wow.
Got to get to those Army Men games. I don't know. Apparently, they're hit and miss, but we'll see. They are something. Those Army Men 64 games. They are video games.
This is the level I was talking about. It's like
This one?
crazy.
Yeah, things just speed by.
I remember
like,
this one.
Yeah, this is cool. This is one you revisit too, where you go to a couple different times and it's slightly changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit
is hard
deserty, a little
to-
bit industrial. Yeah.
It's hard to remember these though. Like they do all blend in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
Last thing I want to mention is I think the game looks pretty good. I think it has pretty good animation. I think the pod racers themselves all look pretty cool. I mean, obviously all unique designs, but that's, separate from necessarily how the game looks specifically graphic wise. But and then the environments for the most part, I find to look pretty cool and pretty unique. So I don't know. Do you guys think it looks good, or does it look like a little too muddy, too fast, like things like that? Jiggy's like,
It's pretty between for me. I think the actual pods themselves look pretty good. I think the environments look okay. Pretty typical N64. I don't know what to tell you. Nothing that blows my mind, but nothing that makes me look at it and go, ugh.
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't have that factor.
It's the colors for me. It's the colors. Everything's very muted and very like this realistic tone. And whenever an N64 game has it, it does look a little muddy. It doesn't look bad. It's just like very typical for me.
That makes
Everything
sense.
feels like you're on Tatooine. It looks like that washed out. I feel like the graphics don't make the game worse. If that makes sense.
Let's put it on the box. Right beside that Darth Watto. It doesn't look.
Don't make the game worse.
They don't make the game worse.
Because for a game like this, like it does look fine. Like it looks good, but you don't necessarily need things to look unbelievable. Like it's going so fast, anyways. You're so focused on the actual gameplay.
Yeah, I
think they did enough. Is kind of what I'm getting at of like what they could do with the system's hardware at the time. It would be really, really interesting to see this. Like if we were able to get a pod racing for GameCube in an alternate universe because of what Amusement Vision was able to do and Sega were able to do with F-Zero GX, which is one of the best looking games, period, on the GameCube. It just looks incredible. And I feel like pod racing could have had that life if it made it to that console, but they were limited by the N64 hardware, and I think they made it work. Like Jiggy said, the pods themselves look fantastic. So that's half the battle right there.
Yeah. It's I think this is one of those games where every once in a while we bring it up. It's like, oh, what if this was remade? Like they sort of, they fancied it up a little bit with the Switch re-release a few years ago. I've only seen it. I haven't played it, but it looks cleaner, but it's the same game, right? So I don't know that they really like drastically change any mechanics. I don't know that offhand, but
no,
if they like just
textures,
yeah, okay, so it's a ROM with new textures, so whatever. Yep. If they made a new one, I think it would be pretty sick. Honestly, I think they could really do something with this, and it doesn't even have to be a huge game, or it doesn't have to be this like big like just if you were to remake this or make a new version of it and stuff, I think you could really do something with it. I don't know that anyone's going to care anymore, but we
would.
Okay. Well, they sold at least 2. How about that? 2 out of the 3. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Like, I support it, but I'm fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's a good game. It's a good game. There's cool things here. It does have a lot of cool stuff going for it, like we've mentioned, but it's not going to be like the first racer that I pick up if I'm going to play the 64. Like it's I think I'd play this like if I'm playing solo, I feel like I'd play this over Mario Kart solo, but there's a lot of other ones.
Good point.
Like F-Zero and Diddy Kong are probably the first ones that come to mind, which I think are kind of obvious answers, but there's lots of choice. It doesn't have to be anything that's along those lines. So that's why we're in the middle of covering a few racing games at once. At this point, when you hear this, you'll be hearing already our chat about F-Zero X and a couple more sort of around this episode too. But Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Check it out. See if it's for you. Give it a couple tries, couple races, couple different racers if you want. And then I think if you got a handle of how you like how it feels, keep going. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I think you can miss this and not be too upset, but I think you can have some fun too if you get a handle on how the physics work in it. I think largely is for me the biggest hurdle that I had at first. So check it out. And until that time, Jiggy, what's happening lately, buddy? Busy summer?
Oh yeah, YouTube goes on and on and on. I just put in actually a really fun video about collectathon platformer level design.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty cool. It's been really well received, so definitely go check that video out.
Nice.
More stuff in the can. You'll love this. I started live streaming Perfect Dark, attempting to beat it in Perfect Agent mode. I spent 4 hours and I only beat the first level.
Humbled right there.
Yeah.
Hard. But I am enjoying the process. It is great. Everyone's like popping in and be like, "Oh man, dude, you got to do this. Got to do this." And I'm like, "Okay." Like it's just a blast. I'm having a lot of fun on stream. Just it being the almost impossible task it seems to be.
It's crazy, man. You're a machine, buddy. Like you're insane in all the best ways. How about that?
Trying to become perfect, man.
Trying to be in the dark.
Trying to become dark.
Just dark. Yeah.
Well.
Well, yeah.
We're gonna move on past that one.
No, let's linger a little bit. Mike, we talked a little bit before we hit record that you have recorded a couple episodes lately and stuff, but you guys have had some pretty sweet episodes in the last little bit. This episode specifically will be out sort of towards the tail end of summer and stuff. What's some stuff that some people can check out for the Switch to the Past podcast?
Yeah, so we got recently we've done Rocket League, Epic Mickey, which was a really fun one that Neil and I got to talk about. He just platinumed Epic Mickey Rebrushed, which is the new version they put out last year. And
nice.
Such an interesting game. I played that game when it came out for Wii. I really like it. It's really unique. The story is unique, and it's just like something that you wouldn't have expected Disney to put out. And they probably will never put out a game like that again, to be honest. So I enjoyed it, and it was fun to talk about. Really interesting going in the backstory of like how it happened and crazy stories there. Very interesting. Go check that one out on Switch to the Past. And then I just recently recorded the WWF No Mercy episode to talk some N64 here. So that is going to be coming very soon. Really, really fun. And hopefully at some point, Dave is going to come on the show and talk about Space World 2000.
Yes.
Which came out. Which not came out, but Space World, of course, was an E3 type Nintendo event that they had back in the day. And Space World 2000 is infamous because that's where they showed off Dark Link, the cool, edgy Link that they didn't get because we got Wind Waker instead.
Right. Drastically other direction. Yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about the conference and conferences in general. And I feel like want to have Dave on the show to celebrate its 25th anniversary at some point. So yeah, that'll be at some point, hopefully at the end of the summer as well, once things settle down for you.
Once I'm stopped in the middle of a move, I'm going to be picking up a lot more recordings and stuff too. So no, it's cool because it's easy to go back and replay games like we do here, like you guys do too, and all that. But like to do something like, let's chat about a conference, or let's chat about sort of that time and what those sort of approaches were to the industry and all that. Like it's a very cool idea to do something like that. So when you mentioned that to me a few weeks ago, I was like, yes, let's do it. I probably at the time vaguely, remember that I was, I probably not even I wasn't even a teenager yet. So did I really even have a way to watch it? I doubt it. I didn't have internet in my house until 2000 or 2001. So, and even then it was dial up for like 6 years. So
it's tuned in IGN for as long as I can remember.
You did did what?
I was tuned into IGN for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Out of the womb.
I don't think I could have accessed IGN even if I wanted to on the internet that I had. Because I was in a place where like dial-up was the only option. There was no cable.
Same here. Yeah.
There was no underground cable, so I didn't have cable TV. I didn't have nothing. Yeah, so that's why like
my mom was an early adopter of broadband.
Ooh.
She needed it for work, and so we had a broadband router. It was awesome. I never really like knew that other people suffered as much, but yeah, I was doing great.
But it also depends where you lived. Like where me and Mike are from, like some areas, if you were like in a city, I mean, this is the same in the States as well. But if you're like in a city, it's more likely you're going to have that option, whether you have it or actually use it or not. But I was like literally lived on a property that used to be a horse farm. So
true,
like there was nothing around. Like I couldn't get anything more than bunny ears, even if I wanted to growing up. So up until I was in high school. So that was my TV experience. When I went to my grandparents' place, when I went to my cousin's place, that's when I watched the cool TV. I could watch cartoons and stuff, sure. But like, where did I watch Reboot? I watched it at my grandparents' place. Like that's where I watched those shows. But that's why I sat in front of my 64 for many years because I didn't need internet to enjoy it. Right. So, and then as for this show, of course, this is part of, it's probably going to end up being just based on timing of when the calendar hits. I'm trying to name it as Vroom Vroom Month because I couldn't come up with anything more clever for a bunch of racing games that we're talking about. But this will be the tail end of Vroom Vroom Month. If you haven't heard any yet, as of us sitting here right now, we're going to try and get a Hot Wheels episode out there as well. We also have F-Zero X, like I mentioned. And we also have other racing episodes that we've done. Me and Jiggy earlier this year did Mickey Speedway Racing. What's the full title?
Oh yeah,
Speedway USA.
Yeah, that was cool. And Mike, your co-host, came on 2-3 years ago at this point, and we did Diddy Kong Racing way back.
He loves that game.
Yeah, when this actually, and Mario Kart. I think we did Mario Kart for both. I tapped Neil as the racing guy early on, and before I knew what I was doing with the show, that's how I structured things. I guess I was let's just do a bunch of stuff at the beginning. Go. But remember 64 out there on all your podcast feeds on YouTube as well, so you can see this version of this podcast and all the things we're referencing, and Jiggy's kitty and Mike's very cool Lego diorama sets and his awesome posters. And of course, also like and subscribe everything, and tell your friends and family. And remember 64 show across social media and on Patreon as well, where you can support this show and Qui-Gon Jinn as well in Lego form. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Jiggy, Mike, thanks for being here. Go pod racing, everybody. This is pod racing. Goodbye.
Gonna cut him in half.
Oh no!